Here's why Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Combs, known as Diddy, known as Puff Daddy, is about to stand trial in New York in May. Combs had his famous white parties.
So I moved to a new neighborhood and they were like, well, what's this guy doing moving here in East Hampton? I said, everybody, come on over to the house so y'all get to know me. You ain't got nothing to be afraid of.
Some of the alleged activity may have occurred in the later hours of those parties.
Kids have like an hour left, but this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to.
And there are a lot of questions. What he's exactly charged with, who's going to testify, what this case is going to look like.
Lawsuit filed by R&B singer Cassie.
And Cassie describing the music mogul as a vicious, cruel, and controlling man.
The whole criminal case against Sean Combs starts with a civil case brought by his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Mika helped Jordan just spilled some jaw-dropping tea about Diddy. And trust me, it's wild. Apparently, Diddy went to shocking extremes to control Cassie. And when I say shocking, I mean it. We're talking threats, car bombs, blackmail, you name it. According to what's coming out, Diddy allegedly didn't hold back when it came to making sure Cassie stayed under his control. And the scary part? Some insiders say he may have done even worse things. So grab your seat, because what's unfolding in this trial is nothing short of explosive. The biggest update? Jury selection has officially started for Diddy's blockbuster trial, and it kicked off with serious drama. The scene outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan was straight-up chaos. Reporters and cameras were everywhere, crowds were buzzing, and the tension was thick. Inside, around 150 potential jurors were brought in. But this wasn't your average jury duty. Nope. They were handed a massive questionnaire filled with deeply personal questions. They were asked how much they knew about Diddy's case, what they thought of law enforcement, and even if they had any experiences that might affect how they view the trial. Clearly, the court wants to make sure no one on the jury is bringing bias or outside opinions into the courtroom. But then things took another unexpected turn. Each juror was also given a list with 190 names on it. Yes, almost 200. And they had to check off any names they recognized. That list was packed with celebrities and big public figures. It was like flipping through a Hollywood guest list. And guess what? Some really famous names showed up, including Kanye West, Mike Myers, Kid Cudi, Young Miami, and Michael B. Jordan. The jurors said they didn't know these people personally, but just seeing those names pop up raised a lot of eyebrows. Why were they even connected to this case? Here's where things get really interesting. While Rolling Stone confirmed that Michael B. Jordan won't be called to testify, they revealed something that made people do a double take. According to Cassie Ventura's bombshell lawsuit filed in November 2023, back in 2015, when things between her and Diddy weren't going well, she had a short, flirty connection with a certain actor. And yes, that actor was Michael B. Jordan. When Diddy found out, he didn't just get mad, he reportedly called Michael directly and threatened him. The lawsuit claims Michael was so shaken that he called Cassie right away and told her, "You really need to call Diddy, now." Let that sink in for a second. That gives you an idea of just how far Diddy was allegedly willing to go to keep control, and how scared people around him were when he got angry. This trial is only just beginning, and already the drama is off the charts.
The awards after party at BOA. Michael B. Jordan shows up to the party and they won't let him inside. Why wouldn't they let you in?
What? They have capacity, you feel me?
Michael B. Jordan's team is staying completely silent. No statements, no interviews, just total quiet. And as for Diddy, he's denied every single allegation made in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. But let's not forget, that lawsuit was settled almost instantly, barely a day after it was filed. Still, that doesn't mean it's over. Cassie is very much still in the spotlight. She's expected to take the stand as a key witness in the upcoming case, and in court documents, she's officially listed as Victim 1. According to federal AG prosecutors, Diddy trafficked her for a full decade, from 2008 to 2018. And what's chilling is that this timeline matches exactly what she described in her own lawsuit. So what does that mean? It means the pain Cassie went through wasn't just behind closed doors, it's now being brought into the courtroom. And here's what's even more disturbing. Diddy's control over Cassie didn't stop even when they weren't together. While Diddy was out dating other people and living his life, Cassie wasn't allowed to move on. If she tried to date someone else, Diddy would allegedly snap. His jealousy was so extreme, he would threaten anyone who even got close to her. It was as if she was still his property, even though the relationship was over. And this wasn't just with Michael B. Jordan. Let's rewind to 2011, when Cassie was reportedly seeing Kid Cudi. What happened next sounds like a movie, but it's something prosecutors say really happened. Diddy allegedly sent people to blow up Kid Cudi's car. You read that right. Thankfully, Cudi wasn't inside the car when it was targeted, but the message was terrifyingly clear. No man was allowed near Cassie. This kind of violence and obsession didn't come out of nowhere. It traces all the way back to the beginning of Diddy and Cassie's relationship. They first got together in 2007, and what followed was over 10 years of emotional and physical trauma. A relationship that looked perfect on the outside, but behind closed doors was filled with fear, pain, and manipulation. The world saw the glam, the red carpets, the designer clothes, the smiles and photos. But behind that sparkle was something much darker. Then, in November 2023, everything changed.
May 2024, things took a dramatic turn when CNN dropped chilling security footage from 2016 that showed Diddy violently assaulting Cassie in a hotel hallway. The video confirmed years of whispers and speculation, sending fans into an uproar. Faced with undeniable evidence,
Diddy issued a public apology calling his actions inexcusable. But let's be real, no one was buying it. The damage was done, and the world finally saw the terrifying reality Cassie had endured for far too long.
I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Now, even though this video exposed just how much of a monster Diddy was, the sad thing is, Cassie went through a lot worse behind the scenes. Cassie's longtime friend and makeup artist Mila Morales once sat down with CNN and revealed just how dark things really were behind the scenes. She recalled a chilling incident during Grammy weekend in 2010, when she and Cassie were staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010, and I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety.
According to Mila, Diddy stormed into their room furious and looking for Cassie. He dragged Cassie away, and after a heated argument, she returned with a bruised eye and a busted lip. The fear was so real, neither of them dared to speak up. "We were scared of Puff, we were always scared of him," Milo admitted. "If we called the police, what would happen? He's a very powerful person in the business, and he can do things that will make you go away, and many people are afraid of him till this day." If you thought Diddy's violence ended with Cassie, think again, because it didn't stop with her. His rage allegedly reached the people around her too, and what happened to one of Cassie's closest friends is nothing short of terrifying. Brianna. Bongolan, a fashion designer and longtime friend of Cassie, has now filed her own lawsuit, and what she described is truly chilling. According to Brianna, everything happened in September 2016 after one of Diddy's wild and infamous freak-off parties. That night, Brianna and Cassie were asleep in the same room at Cassie's apartment, when things took a horrifying turn. Suddenly, Diddy showed up at the door, furious and out of control, pounding violently and shouting. Brianna could sense something was seriously wrong. In a panic, she told Cassie to hide in the bathroom while she tried to figure out what to do. But before they could even react, Diddy broke into the apartment. Brianna, terrified, ran out to the balcony of the 17th floor apartment, hoping to get away or maybe even call for help. But Diddy followed her outside. And what he did next sounds like something out of a nightmare. According to the lawsuit, Diddy grabbed Brianna by her armpits and lifted her up, then held her over the edge of the balcony, dangling her above the street below. He screamed at her, while her feet dangled in the air, literally holding her life in his hands. Just imagine that. 17 stories up, with nothing but air below you, and someone in a violent rage threatening to drop you. It's the kind of fear that never leaves you. Cassie, hearing the chaos, rushed out to help. And only then, when Diddy saw there were more witnesses than he expected, did he finally pull Brianna back onto the balcony. But it didn't end there. Info. One final brutal moment, Diddy allegedly slammed Brianna onto the patio furniture, leaving her shaken and injured. That was the end of the attack, but definitely not the end of the trauma. This wasn't the first time we heard about this moment either. Cassie had already talked about this exact same balcony incident in her 2023 lawsuit. though back then she didn't name Brianna directly. Now, with Brianna stepping forward and putting her name to it, the full story is out, and it's even more terrifying. Her legal team wrote, "The only purpose of dangling someone over a balcony is to actually unalive them, or to intentionally terrorize them, and rob them of any concept of dominion over their own bodily autonomy and safety. It should be no surprise that is exactly what happened to Miss Bongolan." Of course, Diddy hasn't stayed quiet. Through his legal team, he's strongly denied every single claim that Brianna Bongolan has made. His lawyers called her accusations completely false and said that she's been wanting to sue him for a long time without any real reason or proof. But no matter how hard his team tries to shut things down, the stories just keep piling up. The pattern is getting clearer with every new voice. The lawsuits are growing, the headlines are louder, and more people are starting to connect the dots. What started as rumors and whispers has now turned into a full-blown storm, and at the center of it all is Diddy, and it all began when Cassie finally broke her silence. Her explosive lawsuit, filed in 2023, lit the match that started everything. After spending over a decade suffering in silence, Cassie stepped forward and told her truth, and her story shocked the entire industry. In her lawsuit, Cassie revealed how Diddy allegedly kept her locked in a 10-year cycle of control, abuse, and fear. According to her, he used his fame, his money, and his influence to trap her in a life she couldn't escape. Cassie was only 19 years old when she met Diddy. She had just signed to his Bad Boy Records label, full of hope and dreams, but instead of launching her into stardom, her life turned into a nightmare. Cassie claimed that Diddy would give her drugs and alcohol, pushing her into addiction just to make her easier to manipulate. He created a world where he held all the power, and she had none. On the outside, everything looked perfect. Red carpet events, designer clothes, music videos, luxury trips, a picture-perfect celebrity lifestyle. But behind those cameras, Cassie says she was living in constant fear, dealing with emotional and physical abuse that no one saw. Cassie didn't hold back in her statement, saying, "After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story." In her lawsuit, Cassie didn't hold anything back. She described Diddy as a man who repeatedly hurt her, physically, emotionally, and mentally. She said he beat her so badly at times that she ended up with black eyes, deep bruises, and even bleeding. And then came the most devastating part of all. She accused him of rape. This wasn't just another celebrity breakup story. It was a powerful woman finally speaking out about a decade of pain, and it turned into one of the most shocking and talked about lawsuits in the entertainment world in years. But things quickly got messy. Diddy came out swinging, denying every single accusation. He claimed that Cassie was just trying to extort $30 million from him, saying she had threatened to write a damaging tell-all book if he didn't pay up. His lawyer, the well-known Benjamin Brafman, didn't sugarcoat it. He called Cassie's claims outrageous lies and accused her of blackmail, brushing off the lawsuit as nothing more than a desperate money grab. But Cassie wasn't staying quiet. Her lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, fired back and turned the tables. He revealed that it was actually Diddy who had already offered Cassie a massive 8-figure settlement to keep quiet before she ever filed the lawsuit. Cassie refused the hush money. She wanted her truth out there, no matter the cost. Cassie said, "I decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Diddy's statement, short and smooth: "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best, love." Well, as we now know, things didn't just settle quietly, and now Diddy is staring down the very real possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. This whole situation has turned into a huge mess, and the drama is far from over. So, what do you all think about everything that's come to light so far? How do you feel about the shocking details of the case? I'd really love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And make sure to stay tuned, because we're going to be bringing you even more jaw-dropping revelations from Diddy's trial. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.